Hey everyone, I'm Lucas. I'm tech sales here at GearFX, and today we're going to talk about pinion offset. So pinion offset is the driver to passenger side location of the center of your pinion yoke in the vehicle. This is a GM A-body application. In a GM A-body, the housing is centered. When the housing is centered on a 9-inch, the pinion is offset to the passenger side just under an inch. So most aftermarket 4-links are going to have a 1/2-inch offset, such as the Detroit Speed Quadrolink. This splits the difference between housing centered and pinion centered. Original 10 bolts and 12 bolts in factory GM cars had a 1/2-inch offset, so this is pretty close to what you would have had originally. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to get Cody's truck up on the lift and take a look so we can better visualize it. Now that we've got Cody's truck up on the lift, we're going to measure for pinion offset first on the housing. So this is a good option for when you just want the exact same dimensions of what's existing in your car, but you want a Ford 9-inch or a GM 12 bolt. This is just a handy little piece of angle iron that I drilled a hole in. You take your brake drums off after you take your wheels off, and essentially all you've got to do is butt your tape measure up against it, make sure your drive shaft is straight, and in this case we are 31 7/8 to the passenger side. Now for the driver's side, you just repeat the process, and then you can take those measurements and input them onto the housing measurement form that we have on the GearFX website. Okay, so if you don't have a housing to reference measurements off of, or you've done a drivetrain swap and you don't know exactly what you need, what you can do is, this is just a plumb bob that we've made. It's just got a bolt and a little piece of machined weight on the end of it. This is tied to the output of the transmission. You can run to the back of the transmission tail housing if you don't have a drive shaft. And then once it's centered and the plumb bob stabilizes, you can pull a tape between the frame rails to your string. So we've got 21.5 from the driver's side frame rail to the plumb bob, and then to the passenger side, we'll call that 19.25. So what you do is you take those two measurements, you take the difference between them, and then divide it by 2. So in this case, this would be 1 1/8 to the passenger side. What that means is, if you were to put a Ford 9-inch in this, you can run housing centered, and then your drive shaft would be pretty straight. The big key is you want your drive shaft front U-joint to not be misaligned at all. Otherwise, if it's pointing to the driver or passenger side, you can have issues with drive shaft vibration at higher speeds. So once you have all of your measurements for your housing and you know what offset you need, we have a handy housing measurement form on our website that you can find in the link in the description below. If you've got any questions at all about pinion offset, feel free to give us a shout at 704-799-0955 or shoot us an email at info@gearfxdriveline.com. Don't forget to like and subscribe and follow us on social media. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.